Have you ever imagined being sentenced to death because your house collapsed, even if it was built by someone else? Or being thrown into a river simply because someone accused you of a crime? What if killing a cat, even by accident, could cost you your life? These sound like scenes from a fantasy movie, but they were real laws followed by ancient civilizations thousands of years ago. Long before modern courts, police, and human rights, societies created rules based on fear, religion, survival, and tradition. Some of these laws were surprisingly clever, while others were brutally unfair. Yet every one of them tells us something fascinating about how people once lived and what they believed. Today, we're traveling across the ancient world, from Babylon and Egypt to Sparta, Rome, China, and the Aztec Empire, to uncover the weirdest ancient laws that actually existed. Stay with us until the end, because the final law is so shocking that it still surprises historians today. Our journey begins nearly 4,000 years ago in the magnificent city of Babylon, one of the world's earliest civilizations. Around 1754 BCE, King Hammurabi introduced one of history's first complete written legal systems, known today as the Code of Hammurabi. It contained nearly 300 laws carved into a massive stone pillar so everyone could see them. While some of these laws introduced ideas of justice and responsibility, others seem unbelievable today. One of the strangest involved accusations of witchcraft. If someone claimed you practiced witchcraft but couldn't prove it, there wasn't a trial, a jury, or an investigation. Instead, you were taken to a sacred river and thrown into the water. If you drowned, the gods had judged you guilty. If you survived, the gods had declared you innocent, and your accuser could be punished instead. Imagine your entire fate depending on whether you could survive a powerful river. To us, this sounds irrational, but the Babylonians believed the gods would never allow an innocent person to die. Nature itself was considered the highest court of justice. From Babylon, we travel southwest to ancient Egypt, a civilization famous for pyramids, pharaohs, and extraordinary beliefs about the afterlife. Among the many animals Egyptians respected, none held a higher status than the cat. Cats protected grain stores from rats and defended homes against poisonous snakes, making them incredibly valuable. Over time, they became associated with the goddess Bastet, who symbolized protection, motherhood, and fertility. Because of this sacred connection, harming a cat was considered an offense against the gods themselves. Historical accounts from Greek writer Herodotus describe angry crowds attacking anyone suspected of killing a cat, even if it happened accidentally. Families mourned their dead cats as they would family members, often shaving off their eyebrows as a sign of grief. Special cemeteries were built for cats, and thousands were even mummified. In ancient Egypt, a cat wasn't just a pet. It was a sacred being deserving of legal protection. Our next destination is Sparta, the legendary Greek city-state known for producing some of history's fiercest warriors. Spartan society revolved around military discipline. Boys began rigorous training at a young age, learning to endure pain, hunger, and hardship without complaint. Although Sparta had many formal laws, one of its most powerful rules was social rather than written. Never show cowardice in battle. A soldier who fled from combat wasn't necessarily imprisoned or executed, but his punishment often lasted a lifetime. He became an outcast. Citizens refused to speak with him. Women avoided marrying him, and even his own family could suffer shame because of his actions. He was expected to wear humiliating clothing and publicly accept insults. In Sparta, honor was more valuable than life itself. Surviving a battle meant little if you returned without courage. Leaving Greece behind, we arrive in ancient Rome, where family life was governed by one remarkable legal principle called patria potestas, meaning the power of the father. The oldest living male in every Roman household, known as the paterfamilias, possessed enormous legal authority over his family. He controlled finances, approved marriages, arranged adoptions, and managed property. In the earliest periods of Roman history, this authority extended even further, giving fathers legal power over life and death decisions involving members of their household. Although these powers gradually weakened as Roman society evolved, the idea itself reveals how differently Romans viewed family relationships. The household wasn't considered a partnership of equals. It was structured like a small kingdom, and the father ruled as its unquestioned leader. Now let's journey east to ancient China, where governments often used appearance to reinforce social order. Throughout different dynasties, rulers introduced detailed regulations governing hairstyles, clothing, and symbols of status. In certain periods and regions, facial hair, clothing, and appearance could influence taxation or official obligations. While the popular story of a universal beard tax is often exaggerated in modern retellings, historical records show that authorities sometimes linked appearance to social rank and government control. Your hairstyle could reveal your loyalty to a dynasty, while your clothing indicated your profession or class. Even your beard could attract attention from officials. These regulations remind us that in ancient societies, appearance wasn't simply a matter of personal choice. It reflected identity, loyalty, and one's place in society. Across the ocean in Central America, the mighty Aztec Empire developed one of history's strictest attitudes toward alcohol. Unlike many ancient cultures where drinking was common, the Aztecs believed excessive alcohol threatened discipline and social stability. Young people, especially warriors and students, were expected to avoid drunkenness entirely. Historical records indicate that severe punishments, including execution in some circumstances, could be imposed for repeated or serious violations. Interestingly, elderly members of society were sometimes allowed to drink during religious ceremonies and celebrations because they had already demonstrated wisdom and self-control throughout their lives. This contrast reflected an important belief within Aztec culture. Freedom had to be earned through discipline and responsibility. Our next stop takes us to the Viking world of Scandinavia. Popular culture often portrays Vikings as fearless raiders who settled every dispute with violence, but their societies also relied on surprisingly sophisticated legal systems. Honor formed the foundation of Viking life. Publicly insulting someone by calling them a coward or questioning their courage wasn't merely offensive. It could become a legal matter. Depending on the time and region, such insults could lead to formal legal disputes, or even legally recognized duels intended to defend one's reputation. To the Vikings, a person's honor determined trust, alliances, and social standing. Words carried enormous power because damaging someone's reputation could affect not only the individual, but also the entire family. Looking back at these ancient laws, it's easy to laugh at their strange logic or criticize their cruelty. Yet these rules weren't created randomly. They reflected each civilization's deepest fears, strongest beliefs, and greatest priorities. The Babylonians trusted divine judgment. Egyptians protected sacred animals connected to their religion. Spartans valued courage above survival. Romans believed absolute family authority created stability. Chinese rulers maintained order through visible social hierarchy. The Aztecs emphasized discipline, while Vikings defended personal honor with remarkable seriousness. Every law, no matter how unusual it seems today, tells us something about the people who lived under it. Perhaps the most fascinating lesson is that laws are always shaped by the societies that create them. Thousands of years from now, future civilizations may study some of our own laws and wonder how we ever believed they made sense. History isn't only preserved in grand monuments, epic battles, or famous kings. Sometimes, the strangest and most revealing stories are hidden within the laws ordinary people were expected to obey every single day. If you enjoyed this journey into the bizarre legal systems of the ancient world, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Which ancient law shocked you the most, and which one do you think was actually reasonable? Until next time, remember, the past is often stranger than fiction.